Calpurnia. Peace, ho, Caesar speaks. Calpurnia. Here, my lord. Stand you directly in Antonius' way, when he doth run his course. Antonius. Caesar, my lord. Forget not, in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say, the Baron, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse. I shall remember, when Caesar says, do this, it is performed. Set on, and leave no ceremony out. Caesar. Ha, who calls? Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again. Who is it in the press that calls at me? I hear a tongue, shriller than all the music. Cries Caesar, speak. Caesar is turned to hear. Beware the Ides of March. What man is that? A soothsayer bids you to beware the Ides of March. Set him before me. Let me see his face. Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar. What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again. Beware the Ides of March. He is a dreamer. Let us have him. Pass. Will you go see the order of the course? Not I. I pray you do. I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder Cassius your desires. I'll leave you. Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love, as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you. Be not deceived, if I have veiled my look. I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, to give some soil, perhaps, to my behaviors. But let not, therefore, my good friend be grieved, among which number Cassius be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men. Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face? No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things. 'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors that will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you may see your own shadow. I have heard, where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and growing underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes. Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me? Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself, see well, as by my reflection I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet not know of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laugher, or did I use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester? If you knew that I do fawn on men and hug them at hard, and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous. What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king. Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so. I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death. I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for myself, I have as lief not as live yet to be in awe of such a thing as myself. I was born free as Caesar, so are you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber, chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darst thou, Cassius, now leap in with me to this angry flood, and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in, and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside, and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of the Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body, Caesar carelessly but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when a fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips from their colour fly, but that same eye, whose bend doth awe the world, did lose his lustre. I did hear him groan. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl." Ye gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone. Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honor that are heaped on Caesar. Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. We petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is a fair name. Sound them. Doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them. It is as heavy. Conjure with him. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat does this our Caesar feed, that he has grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than one man. When could they say till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now it is Rome indeed, and Rome enough, when there is in it but only one man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.